Cobblestone generators are essential in Minecraft Skyblock. That is why today I'm going to be showing off the best way to make a ton of XP by, of course, using a cobblestone generator. So without further ado, let's get right into this. So of course, we are going over the best way to get XP or EXP, and quite literally, it is using a cobblestone generator, which seems a bit weird. Also, I just woke up, so forgive me for my voice, but I'm gonna give a rundown on how to make this very efficient and not use the cobblestone generator for any other purpose but XP. So realistically, you can just get prospecting on any pickaxe with efficiency 10, or at least enough to where you have efficiency and haste to insta-mine blocks, as you can see. That is essential to make this work, and another thing you can do is go in controls. If you're on 1.21.11 for your Minecraft version, you can turn on the toggle attack / destroy, and then you can just press the key once until you open a menu, and it'll literally mine for you. You just cannot AFK with that, of course. You gotta be active and at your computer or whatever device you're on. But if we go ahead and go into enchant and go to our pickaxe, prospecting gives us more XP the more we level it up. I've been upgrading it off camera to try and get some more XP. Essentially, you get it to 100, it works out very well, and then you start investing in other things that you want to work on. So basically, all my XP is going into prospecting right now until we get to 100. And a very good reason on why we're never going to upgrade our cobblestone generator is we're staying on cobblestone and coal in our island mastery for ores. The reason we stay on this is because we can upgrade the XP drop here. It is honestly the best option possible if you're just trying not to spend any credits into island upgrades to get up to the top tiers of ores where they're constantly in your generator. So if we look at island upgrades, there is a ore generator upgrade. It is not worth it unless you really want to get the other ores, which don't really make the money in the economy. It's not really that good, at least in my opinion. From playing from a casual perspective, it's just not worth it. So what we are going to do with all of our 19 points is spend it into the XP bonus. We're gonna get none of these. Realistically, you could also get the shard chance up because you make a lot of shards from this if you get shard collector, and just overall you make a lot of shards. But we are going to go ahead and get the XP boost up by 0.1 and then a 0.2 in total. So now it costs 15 to get to 0.3. But if we get another bit of points here, the coal can actually be upgraded on its own to get even more multiplier. So we're going to get another point here in our mastery really quickly. So if we take a look at our XP, we have 1071. If we mine a little bit here, we're at 1533. It takes no time at all, and that is, of course, if you have a booster active. I'm using a personal 2x booster. You get them quite frequently in the game and at different rates, so like different multiplying. So if I go to my inactive XP boosters, I have a ton here that I can just use. I'm saving these ones until we actually have prospecting to 100 because they're really good boosters. The 2x, I have a ton of them, and some useful commands for those that don't know. You can disable boosters by doing disable boosters, and if you have too many of the same booster that aren't stacking in the menu, you can merge them with merge boosters. I tend to do that a lot because it's just useful, and as you can see, we have 10 hours of 2x, which is insane. But there we go, we got our 20 tier on cobblestone, and we can go ahead, go into coal and upgrade with those points we got from cobblestone into here to get a XP multiplier. It's probably better to save for just cobblestone mostly, but you might as well get the coal a bit because these are like the main ores that actually spawn in. Whichever ores are more common after mining for a while, you kind of just want to invest in. I'm not gonna bother with anything past coal though. To me, it doesn't seem like it's worth it if you're not upgrading your cobblestone generator, and plus everything being cobblestone just makes it easier to get points because you're guaranteed mostly cobblestone. And the reason we are doing this to get a ton of XP is because we're on our beetroot tier as of last video. I haven't really farmed much. We only have 3 points and we need, I think, 15 to get to the next tier, which is potatoes. And I want to get a hoe going, a better one than this, or just using this one realistically, because if we enchant it, we can actually get green thumb. And what green thumb does is it auto replants at level 100 guaranteed. So right when you break a crop, it'll just plant it in again. Depending on the type, it'll plant that type down. So I really want to get green thumb just for the farming, even though spawners are probably the meta, just like last map. Farming is still pretty good good, and I want to look into every single meta that actually helps you in the game, even though spawners are definitely better, so I highly recommend going for them. My advice for spawners is probably just not to spend any mastery points until you hit Zogglins or the Warden or the Wither Skeleton, which are the final tiers, and take a while to get there. But as you can see, we already have 8,000 XP and we just got another tier upgrade on Cobblestone. It takes no time at all. And imagine this with Shard Collector. It would be insane how many shards we get. And if you're interested in doing quests, which is a whole different system, you can actually spend these points from all the challenges you do. You can spend them into tools here that already have enchants. It just doesn't seem as worth it as it used to be compared to last map, because the price has gone up to 500. I believe they were 250 before and they added new tools, but they aren't unbreakable, the new tools, so it doesn't make it worth it to go for these, which is kind of annoying, but it makes sense. But basically the unbreaking tools are the way to go if you don't want to fix. And another good thing about this cobblestone generator is if it's in range of a collection box, you're going to be getting crafting balance, which you need for automation. It's how you craft custom recipes, which I haven't actually gone over. From milestones, you get a enchanted cobblestone CBU recipe. So if we go into milestones here, you can see I mined a lot. I recommend doing milestones because you don't have to pay money to get gold coins. You can quite literally get the premium currency that you buy with real money potentially if you wanted, and even loot boxes. Like, look at this, you get skin keys and loot boxes. That's almost 1,000 in just currency that you could have paid for with real money, but you don't have to. It's just so good. I don't even spend a dime on here. But either way, I've been doing all of this and you get a lot of good loot, but you get the recipe, as you can see, at tier 2, which is not very far from 1,000 blocks mined. So if we go here and put it in here, our cobblestone should turn into enchanted. There we go, we got 4 enchanted. It does tell you how much it requires, which is 576 cobblestone, and it tells you how much it makes more, of course, in credits. I personally don't think it's worth putting it into here because it's 1 crafting balance per time it makes one of these, so you don't really want to waste your crafting balance. Like right now it's fine, but at certain points in time you're definitely gonna just want to take out the certain recipe that you're not using at times and just swap them around with the good recipes you have. So for now, we'll keep the enchanted cobblestone in so we have more storage for cobblestone and so it doesn't drop on the ground, and of course so we can actually get some extra credits. And another good way, instead of actually getting haste 3 on the pickaxe, which I recommend just getting it on the pickaxe with XP, because it's a weird bug that actually happens when you're using the pet where the blocks don't mine. As you can see, sometimes it glitches. I believe that kind of gets fixed when you just have haste on the pickaxe itself, but if you take a look here, you get haste 3 and extra mining drops from a cave spider pet, and the higher the rarity the better, of course. But to max out prospecting from level 0 to 100 is about 505,000 XP, which is not a lot if you're using boosters constantly and upgrading as you're mining, because it increases like how quick it's actually getting done. So roughly around 20,000 XP right now when you're at level 50 roughly is when you want to be investing into prospecting. So I always look at my scoreboard at how much XP I'm at. Once I hit 20,000, I invest right into it and repeat the cycle. But either way, I've explained how we're getting XP, what we're using it for, and now I'm gonna put that into action. I'm gonna go ahead and mine for a while, start getting this prospecting pickaxe up to 100, and then maybe get some shard collector, we'll see, just to increase our shards gained. But I will give an update here in a moment. So it is a brand new day and we do have a ton of XP now. We have 672,000 XP. As well, we have 79,000 shards, which is good. We've done a lot of grinding. I used a lot of my boosters. And I did get the pickaxe up to haste 3 prospecting 100. So now it's perfectly good to go besides shard collector, which we'll maybe get a bit here in a moment. But first, we need to get this to green thumb 100, this hoe. Before we do that, we're upgrading the capacity on our collection box just so we have it at 5,000 storage for each item. So we're gonna do /enchant, go to our hoe, and we need green thumb. So now if I go ahead and spend 505,000 and start breaking the crops, as you can see, it's instantly planting them, which is just such a time saver. It's honestly worth it in the long run. But the next enchant we will probably have to get on this hoe is going to be crop drill. Basically, if I faced this direction and break a crop, it would break a ton in that direction if you have crop drill, of course. So what I might do is actually get a little bit into this. What level can it go to? 120. I think we'll get 30 levels just so we're at 1/4 of the way. So now if I break it, oh my gosh, that is insane. So now I can just break one crop and go on a sideline and it breaks all of them. Oh my gosh, that is actually busted. Yeah, this was definitely worth it, and our crop mastery is going up like crazy, and we still have 120,000 XP to spend, which we're gonna put into shard collector. I think that's a good call, just because we want to get a lot of shards going from mining, so then we're just getting a ton of currency at once. But if we take a look at mastery, we already have 10 points and we need 15 to get to potatoes, so we're gonna try and hit that soon. And all the crops are done here. The storage definitely was worth it. The beetroot seeds are overflown. We are gonna go ahead and sell here because I do have some past challenges. We have to stay online for 25 minutes. I already got the shard challenge done, and we also need to sell a lot of items for currency. But we're gonna do slash enchant, go to our pickaxe, and we're gonna go to shard collector. And you do actually get some very useful items as well from milestones. They're called shard collector slips or soul collector slips. Basically, it adds 1 level of the enchant. So when you don't want to spend XP, the best option is to spend it when you're really close to getting the last few levels and you have enough to max it out. So when we're close to maxing out shard collector, I will be putting on these slips just so we can save some XP for other enchants that don't have slips. It's honestly a very good tactic. Also, our milestones, we're at 130,000 blocks mined in our ores. As you can see, all the loot we're getting from this is just insane. As you can see, we got the shard collector slips from mining, which is good. I forgot to mention there is a rebalance thing for mastery points, which I did rebalance mine. You get a free usage, and then it has a cooldown for your free usage to be used again. I put all my mastery points into their locations again, but I mainly did that because I decided not to invest in the coal anymore, and I did upgrade these shards in the cobblestone, but I've realized it's honestly just better to go all in on the XP boost on cobblestone, so that's what I've been doing. We're at 145 on its tier, and we have 8 points, and I believe we have a 0.7 multiplier on the XP, as you can see. And I do also need to mention that there is a multiplier command. If you do slash multi or multipliers, you can see all the multipliers for every single thing, and as you can see for XP, global and regular boosters stack. Same with every other currency, they all stack. They're their own kind of thing. It tells you the multipliers and what it adds up to. It's really good to look at that just to get an understanding on what you can add to make a ton more money or currency. And we've already made a ton of XP as well. We're at 8,000. We're making about 1,500 every update on the scoreboard, and that's with, of course, a 2x booster active and a 2x global booster, so we have a 4x. And in the first video, we did get some totems, which are a new thing on the server. If you get a totem, you redeem them, you can unredeem them, withdraw them, but essentially we got an XP one. I put that one on to help speed up the progress of getting a ton of XP. We got a 0.3, so we have 4.3 overall. So right now, all my XP I think is going to go into shard collector for the time being, and then go straight into crop drill once we are done that. And our crops are finally growing again. We can go ahead and start farming these like crazy. And another thing I want to mention about masteries, you can still get more mastery points even when you go to the next tier. You could still farm beetroot. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to farm beetroot even when we hit potatoes here, because I don't want to replant them instantly. I kind of want to get all the points from the mastery I can before it starts getting more difficult to get the points from them, just so we have them for future ones like torch flower, which is the best crop in the game. But if we go into mastery, we can unlock potatoes. There we go. So we got potatoes going. We showed off how to get a ton of XP in the game, and of course shards, because it's also very good for shards. That being said, thank you all so much for watching today's video. I do appreciate all the support, and I will see you all in the next one.